Yo, what is up, everybody? It is Friday, October 13th. A little bit of a spooky day, but it's still the end of the week. So we're going to celebrate it and we're going to have a good time today. Getting into wrapping up the week, we're going to look at the charts. We're going to talk about some news headlines. Could Bitcoin be heading to $25,000? We're going to look at the charts and see how that's looking and where our resistance levels are at. Um, yeah, guys, that's what it is. We're going to get the knowledge today because knowledge is profit here on Piper Academy. So welcome to everybody in the chat right now. I appreciate y'all being here. Make sure you guys go and like and subscribe and hit the notification bell. I'm sure most of you that are in here already have done that right there. But if you have not, do that. And if you have done that, share this video out there with people that you know. Let them get this knowledge because we're trying to grow a channel here, and I can't do that without all of you guys. Shout out to Crypto Seth in the chat. Said Piper Academy Discord question mark. Not right now. Maybe eventually. We'll get to that. So, yeah, I got Crux of Crypto in here with the Blue Wrench today. We got Eric Wallen, Justin Eubanks. Glad to have you here, man. Mr. J, always here representing. I appreciate you, brother. Arsan 246 saying hello. Hello to you, man. Hachi Tobias, my good buddy over in Germany there, saying hello to everyone. Let's go ahead. Let's take a look at what we're going to be talking about today. So first off here, oh, nope, that one. We're going to be talking about this. We had some liquidations on this new token right there, big time, that one. We're going to be talking about that. We're going to take a look at the macroeconomic calendar. We're going to be talking about this headline right here. BlackRock clients pulling $13 billion from long-term funds. Could this be a bad sign of what's to come? And then, of course, we're going to get the charts. We've got to have the charts in here. We're going to talk about this level right here. This is what I'm watching, and this is a pretty important thing right there. There it is. That's what I'm watching. Bitcoin and that $25,000 rate. So we'll talk about that. Also, I made a call yesterday about Matic. We will look at that. It is playing out quite well, and we're going to look at a couple of stocks and check the market open. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Without any further ado, let's get over into the news, guys. News. Actually, we want macroeconomic calendar. That news. Export import prices came in today. Export prices coming in at 0.7% was consensus and forecast at 0.5, 0.6. Previously was at 1.1. So this coming down just a little bit on export. Import prices, though, only got 1%. It was actually way under the forecast and the consensus there. We do have Michigan consumer sentiment today. This is going to be how did the consumers feel? And I think they're probably feeling pretty down about this. So it was at 68.1. They're expecting to be lower. I think it might even beat the 67.2. We will have to see how that plays out. Let's go ahead and take a look here. No, we don't want them to send me. Do not send me notifications. Thank you. Let's take a look at the CME group here. Give it a little refresh. See if it's changed. It was 91.8% there. Still at 92.4% now. So in the same range for November of a pause right there. We're going to expect a pause for November 1st, 13 December. Let's take a look at that. 68.4% chance of a pause there. However, we are still sitting right there at a 29.6% chance that we get a rate hike in December. Let's look at January. January is saying a rate pause, but there's still another rate hike coming in here. So I'm expecting that we're going to get a pause probably through here, but there is potential, guys. There is potential of a rate hike somewhere here in this next quarter, December, January, and March. So we're going to keep an eye on that. Just so you guys are tracking, this is the aggregated U.S. inflation rate from the Trueflation website. They're actually saying that aggregated by the old measuring standards, we are at a 23.4% inflation rate. So there you go. Let's go and look and see what the non-aggregated is. Let's see this one. Yeah, click that. There we go. 2.6. I'm going to say that 2.6 is probably really not right. And if we go with the aggregated version, it's at 23.47, probably closer to the truth right there. Let's look at Bitcoin liquidations here for the past 24 hours. Crypto liquidations in the past 24 hours, 18,436 traders were liquidated right there. The total liquidation coming in at $42.2 million. Largest single liquidation happened on OKX. It was an ETH USDT, $2.5 million liquidation. Who is trading this stuff is what I want to know, that can afford to just $2.5 million liquidation. No worries, no problem. What does it matter? That's what we're looking at there. But look, big time. This token launched, I believe it was yesterday, maybe the day prior on Coinbase. Don't know much about this coin. Seth, if you know anything about this coin, let us know. But yeah, $8.4 million in liquidations. 4.6 million of those short liquidations. So getting some movement out of that big time there. Bitcoin, of course, only 8 million worth of liquidations. Ethereum, guys, $4 million worth of liquidations more than what Bitcoin saw. So all of those liquidations being longs, people thinking that they're going to be going up. They're going down. Big article here. BlackRock clients pulling $13 billion from long-term funds. So this marks the first outflow since the onset of the pandemic. So BlackRock, people are pulling the money out of BlackRock. They're long-term funds, meaning that they're not having faith in the long term of what their money's going to do in BlackRock. Clients added $15 billion to cash management and money markets. People are going cash. Right now, looking at cash, probably the safe bet when you look at what's going on with all of the markets. So, BlackRock clients pulled a net $13 billion from long-term investment funds, the first outflows since the onset of the pandemic, as we read just a second ago. Redemptions are a sign that investors have preferred to keep cash on hand in money market funds or in certain bond strategies while interest rates remain elevated. The outflows from the firm's long-term investment funds, including mutual funds and exchange-traded funds, missed by a wide margin. The $50 billion of inflows that analysts surveyed by Bloomberg were expecting, so it missed it big time. BlackRock shares fell 1.9% to $624 just before today's market opened. So people not feeling very bullish on what's going to be going on with the markets ahead. So smart money pulling their money back into cash. Were they putting it in gold? Maybe so. Gold hit a 2 week high at $1,890 after we got the CPI data. Drinking some coffee there. Sorry. Got to have the coffee in the morning here. It is 7:38 in the morning out here where I'm at in Texas. So gold price has soared for a 2 week high on Friday on hopes that the Fed's plan to skip a rate hike will remain unchanged after the new CPI data. Get rid of you, big old ad. The price of gold rose to a 2 week high on Friday to nearly $1,890 per ounce, boosted by the expectation that the Fed Reserve is not going to raise rates on November 1st, which we just saw that 90 something percent there. Gold nears 1900 per ounce on hopes that it will skip that rate hike. Gold prices have sharply recovered this week, particularly after Thursday's upswing caused by the CPI data yesterday. As such, gold prices soared from 1800 to 1890. So about a $90 increase there. Not huge, but hey, gold just can't seem to want to get around that 2000. I was joking around with Crux of Crypto earlier. Is gold and Ethereum one and the same? Because they both seem to be allergic to that $2,000 mark. So sticky inflation, hot labor market, still unlikely to bring another rate hike in November. So that's why gold is rallying there, which is crazy because the SPY is high. I know. And I'm going to talk about that in a second too, because um, I'm going to show you guys where my money is sitting at right now. Not financial advice, but just why, reading this and this headline here. There it is. Reading this and reading this headline, you will see why I'm kind of sitting the way that I am. Here we go. Coming in from my Seeking Alpha account. Dollar steadies after yesterday's surge. U.S. oil jumps ahead of the weekend while the yields soften. So U.S. CPI rose 1.1%. We know all that. U.S. data for next week, including retail sales. Retail sales, man, they're getting rocked. And industrial production is expected to decline or weaken sequentially. Equities are under pressure with Hong Kong and mainland shares tumbling more than 2% and European stocks down 0.6%. So the overview, the capital markets seem to have exaggerated responses to the U.S. CPI, where the headline rate, flattered by the rise in energy, rose by 0.1%. We already know all that. Let's get down to where it talks about the U.S. oil. That's what I want to see. It's down here. Keep moving. Keep moving. Moving along here. There you go. Headline: U.S. September CPI was unchanged. The market had expected a small decline after rising for the previous 2 months. On the month, it rose 0.4%. The median forecast in the Bloomberg survey was 0.3%. Headline: inflation rose. We know that. That core goods fell by 0.4, driven, as it were, by a 2.5% decline in used car prices. Guys, are those car prices going down? Let me know in the chat. I don't think they are yet, which the industry report suggests could be reversing. Excluding used cars, core good prices are flattish. And I've actually got a tweet that actually has a breakdown really good on all of this. But bottom line on this article, guys, just so that we can see it here, the U.S. dollar surged. Whoa, easy. In the first few days of October and reached versus Canadian 1.37 Canadian on October 5th. Just see here what else we got. U.S. dollar gains would target that area again. There's a thing about the oil, and I think it's over here. Let's get into this. Bitcoin. This is our big article today. Bitcoin prices get a new $25,000 target as the SEC decision day boost GBTC. This was just talked about over on Investing Bros. If you guys caught that, and shout out to Investing Bros. Love those guys. They start my morning off every day. Ben Redden, what's up, brother? Tradefly in the house. Appreciate you being here. Bitcoin price getting the new $25,000 target per the thumbnail that I posted today. Bitcoin analysis flags liquidity waiting in the wings above and below the current Bitcoin price range. So while Bitcoin is doing that, GBTC is erasing more of its discount that it has. So Bitcoin currently at this says 26,854. I've got 26,848, so that's pretty close. Ranged around the 26.8 mark for the second day on October 13th, with a decision due in the United States regulators' battle with the crypto investment giant Grayscale. Grayscale, of course, trying to get that ETF off the ground. Spot ETF, I want to specify that. Bitcoin lurks between major liquidity clouds. Bitcoin market analysis weighed potential catalyst among these U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC), choosing whether or not to appeal a court ruling over its refusal to allow a Bitcoin spot traded exchange, a Bitcoin ETF for spot. Today is an important day for the SEC appeal on Grayscale ruling. Michael Van de Poppe, founder and CEO of MN Trading, wrote in part of an formerly Twitter post. So there is what it's looking like on their chart there. And you see it came down a little bit of uptick there off of that bottom. Summarizing possible Bitcoin price trajectory from here, popular trader and analyst Credible Crypto saw cause for modest optimism. We have a very clear and seemingly controlled stair step down on price here. Clear low time frame breakdowns, retest, and continuation. So we're leaving behind equal lows right below us. So ideally, I'd like to see these cleaned up before reversal. And that level, guys, coming in at about the $25,000 range. Actually, here he's showing it down to like 26.4. But ultimately, 25K is where the biggest chunk of that is sitting at. So let's jump into X. Let's hit X marks the spot here, and then we'll jump over into charts and get some TA going for you guys, because TA, that's why. All right. So Kabisi letter. For those keeping track, let's pull this up here. There we go. For those keeping track, why do you do that to me every time? Thank you. For those keeping track, the U.S. debt just jumped another $40 billion in one day. Go figure. Look, another $40 billion. We are gaining debt at a rate of $40 billion in 24 hours. This is just ridiculous. It's not sustainable. At the current pace, the U.S. would add another $1 trillion in federal debt every 45 days. Since 2008, the U.S. has added $24 trillion in federal debt, rising to 3.8x what it was in January 2008. That's okay, Gia. That's okay. We're glad to have you here. You can be as late as you want. I've always got another fill-in for you over here with Crux, so no worries. But under the new bill, the debt ceiling is effectively uncapped until January 2025. How high will the U.S. debt be in January 2025? That is a good question. That is a great question. Let's go see what else we got here on the bookmarks for X marks the spot. I got another Kabisi letter here. U.S., this is what I was talking about, that crude oil. You see this big jump here, right there? Bam, just rocketing up there. That is U.S. crude oil production. So I want you guys to realize OPEC is cutting, so the U.S. is now raising because we're trying to fill those strategic petroleum reserves, those SPRs that I keep telling you guys are very important to national security and to our allies. So now we are upping our production here in the U.S. So keep an eye on those oil prices here in the United States. Some of those oil stocks that T-Shroom is always talking about might be something that you want to throw on your trading view. Hey, T-Shroom right there. Look, T-Shroom, oil going up, bro. U.S. oil production. So that's what you want to check out there. Yeah, we're going to check the DXY in just 1 second. Trade fly. Banks. These banks are moving right now. WFC, C, BAC, and JPM. So we got JP Morgan Chase in here. Bank of America is a city, I believe so. And then I don't know what WFC is. Wells Fargo. That's right. That's what it is. So these banks all moving up today. Keep an eye on these. Why are they doing that? It is the uh, earnings reports. That's what I wanted to say. Sorry, I just got a text message loud in my ear. Big move ahead with the earnings season getting started strongly next week. So next week when those earnings come out, we'll see if these pull back. I suspect these might pump up until then and then pull back on that news. So yeah, we can check Enphase. I actually was going to talk about Enphase on something here. Where is it at? Uh, Analysis, maybe? Let's go look here. I had a thing here talking about Enphase. Let's look at the home page. Yeah, so I have this subscription, guys, so that I can pull up data for you and all that. It's got the futures on here. It's got crude oil up 3.48% today. Bitcoin up 0.3%. But there was a thing in here earlier on Enphase, and we'll just pull up the chart and check it out in a second, though. What else do we have here? Median monthly rent prices. I looked at my son last night. We were watching TV, and I stopped and paused the television and said, "Son, I'm sorry. You're never going to be able to afford to live on your own." This is median monthly rent prices in the US, and it hit a record $2,052 per month on average across the United States. So, median monthly rent prices are up 6% since January and continue to push higher. There's the United States. Down in the South, a little bit cheaper, Midwest, but Northeast and the West just continues to go up. That would be like your Californias, your Oregons, your Washington State, your New York, your New Jersey. Yeah, ugly, 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 and it's a sad truth that it's going to get harder for the young generation out there. Here's that breakdown on CPI that I wanted to show you. This is the CPI while it's at 3.7. Here's the actual rates. Car insurance, 18.9. Car repairs, 10.2. Renter inflation, 7.4. Transportation, 9.1. Homeowner, 7.1. Food away from home at 6%. And meat and poultry, 4.8%. So, yeah, 3.7, great. But guess what? We kind of need all of this stuff here. So, doesn't really matter there. And lastly, that's it right there. Since Fed started raising rates in March of 2020, monthly bankruptcies have more than doubled. In September, we saw 62 corporate bankruptcies compared to an average of 25 prior to the Fed rate hikes. There were a total of 182 corporate bankruptcies in the third quarter alone. Guys, when the earnings reports start coming out, because we're heading into earnings season, this is going to be something to keep an eye on. Is how many of these companies earnings? We're going to look at the PEs. I actually would like to have T-Shroom on that day. T-Shroom, if you're watching, let me know. But we should do a breakdown as the earnings reports start to come to the surface here and see how they're stacking up with all of these bankruptcies going on in corporate. So, guys, my money. We were talking about this BlackRock thing here. BlackRock clients pulling $13 billion. I have put my money in a very heavy cash account right now on Robinhood for 4.9%. Just gaining interest every month. I am watching all of these prices. My stocks that I do have, Amazon, Tesla, Google, Nvidia. However, I am watching for CleanSpark. I'm watching for MicroStrategies, and then of course all of my cryptos. And I've got levels. When I start moving in, I'm going to be moving in, but a lot of cash sitting there ready to move today. I'm down a whopping, I'm down equal. I'm equal right now. I'm even. So that's okay. Let's jump into charts. Let's get charting. Let's do it. All right, Bitcoin here, guys. First, we're going to take a look at Dixie, and then we'll come back to Bitcoin. So Dixie right now on the 4 hour, pulling back a little bit with this red candle here. Purple for those, that can see that I don't use that. Yeah, absolutely. I got you, T-Shroom. So yeah, we're going to be looking here at this Dixie. It is pulling back up now, almost a 50% retracement on the 4 hour today. Probably going to be heading back up. And let's go ahead and throw some levels on here, see what we got going. Yeah, we got a nice bounce down here near the dynamic reactor before it bounced back up. It does look like we are starting to pinch there, so we could see some pullback. But on the news that we have going on and heading into the weekend, I would not be surprised if everything pulls back to kind of protect itself today. And then on this Dixie just gets a little bit of uptick today. So let's now jump over into Bitcoin. Let's start some technical analysis for you guys. So looking at Bitcoin here, let me go ahead and turn those off. There we go. And I want my EMA. I had it on the 4 hour, but now it's not wanting to play right. But anyway, this 4 hour EMA right here coming off. This is going to be the 50-week moving average. So you can see that right here, what it's doing is bouncing off of that cleanly. Looking on the 4 hour chart, rejection, continuing to happen here. We are getting an uptick here on the 4 hour on the RSI primed, but we're near the top of this cloud and it's very tight down here. It does look like it's poised to come up, but as long as we keep getting reject on this 50-week moving average, that is not going to be the case. I do suspect that we're going to be heading back down to the platinum pocket here. Giving us this bounce at the range of 26.2 to 25.5. That would be near that $25,000 mark that we were just seeing there. So there's Bitcoin. Guys, it's just not looking pretty. Matter of fact, I think we can actually just pull a trend line here. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like we tried to break above it and then broke back under again. Let's go check out the fixed range volume profile and see where we are with that. Fixed range, volume profiles. Thank you very much. I actually think I have one on here still. I do. Let's turn that on. Yeah, we're sitting below the value area high right now also. We broke that. It was previous support there. And yeah, now it's resistance. So I do suspect that we are going to see this range come back down here. It would not be surprising at all. It is kind of making, and Tim was talking about this earlier also, we do kind of have this head and shoulders here, left shoulder, get this head going in here. And then this would be the right shoulder. And this would be coming back down to here. And if we break this, let's go ahead and measure this off and see what that would look like. Come here, you. Let's see what that would be. That would put us down at 17,900, 18,000, almost down at the point of control, folks. So I think that's very possible. Unless we see something turn around with what's going on in the economy right now. So, Army, does that mean Islay stay in my Bitcoin short? Hey, you do what you need to do your own research. But if it were me, I would be looking at Bitcoin going down further. So, of course, risk management and stop losses always. But yeah, I'm expecting to see more downside on Bitcoin here. Let's go and take a look here at Ethereum today. Mr. ETH, my lovely ETH. I love you, but you're breaking my heart. Yeah, we're heading down right now. It looks like we're probably going to hit this 50% mark here again. That is going to be coming in at $1,500 right now. And that's very likely going to be the case. We're going to see this come down to here, especially if Bitcoin can't stay up. We still have a lot of room to run down here on the RSI primed. We still have plenty of room to come down on the prime oscillator. Of course, I'm looking at daily charts right now. So these dailies could play out well over the weekend. Remember, a lot of volume on the weekend. Very easy for things to come down. Matter of fact, do we have a trend line going right here? Let's look and see. Yeah, we got a clean trend line here. If we break this trend line, go ahead and do that. Put that on your wicks. If we break that trend line and it comes down and breaks this, that would be right in line with the 50. Remember, anything under the 50 is bearish. On the retest of either that trend line or that 50% line there, that's where I'd set an entry for a long. No, not financial advice. It's what I would do. You do your own thing, do your own research. But I would do this. I would set this to be about right in there because this is going to be a previous resistances above us that we could bounce off of. And I would shoot this to come down into the golden pocket. That's going to give you a 1-to-2 risk to reward ratio with a very safe stop loss there. So yeah, that's what I'd be watching for, because that would put us down to a 1320 Ethereum, and I think that's very possible. I could see it going as low as 1200, which would be almost to the 786 here. So there's Ethereum for you. I looked at Matic yesterday, and I told you guys about this, and I want to show you what's going on with it because we talked about it. Let's go and see what we have here. I said yesterday, guys, looks like we're making head and shoulders. I would be watching for this to come up. And let's see, yesterday morning would have been about there, that somewhere in this range right there, because this one here will close at 8. This one closed at 8. So we were in this range here. I said, watch for this. Well, that's what we did. We came down, we hit it perfectly. And then we started coming back up. So since I made that call on this candle here, this was the upside that I said I would watch and get into a long for this right shoulder to be made. And then the target on this, once again, just so you guys are tracking, is going to be, if we break this, potentially down to 40 cents on Matic. So that's what I'm seeing on Polygon Matic there, folks. Keep an eye on that, and we're going to be watching this over the weekend. If I see anything on this, I will let you know. But right now, we did have on the 4-hour prime oscillator, the peak seeker has triggered. We've got upside, a good Heikin-Ashi run up here on the RSI prime candles. No wicks on them. Let's go check the money flow. I'm sure it is moving up right now also. Change over, switch. There we go. Money flow. Yeah, money flows that was buried deep here coming up. We now have the trend moving up here also. And then lastly, let's check and see how the MVP oscillator looked and if it gave us our green bottoming candles, which it may very well likely have done that. So yeah, we had them all here. They did not play out. It still had more downside because it had to hit that neckline. But that's why I was telling you, wait for the neckline hit and to go up. Yep. So that's what I'm watching for there. And let's go and check out some stocks. First off today, markets are open. Let's check out Google. Google getting a little pullback yesterday and then running up again. Getting bottom indicators here already, even though they're not these high ones that we get here. That's fine. On the daily 4-hour, we're looking at that right there. Looks like we're starting to get, you guys see how right here on this, it's pushing down and then we got a wick at the bottom. And then we got a really small one. This could be turning for a turn up. And that's what we normally see here. Like you see the big candles there. And then we get a short one and then it turns up. That is this pattern. So we are doing that again. If we get a little measured move, and let's throw some other things on it. We're in the platinum pocket right now, but I want to see what the fixed range volume profile looks like here. Do I have a fixed range volume profile in here? I do not. Let's go ahead and throw one on. Grab that fixed range volume profile. First off, I want to bring this up by itself. There we go. And we're just going to pull this entire period here of this line because this was previous resistance over here that turned into support. So we're going to pull it from over here, right there. And let's see what we got. Yeah, we got a nice bounce there off of that bottom on the golden pocket. We're above the value area high. There is really nothing stopping us on the way up right now. You can see right now we are above this volume profile hill, this little mountain. Think of it like a ball sitting on top. If it breaks down, it's going to come to the next level. If it breaks up, it's just going to go. So right now, there is not a lot over there. So let's go and pull a even further back fixed range volume profile and see what that looks like. Let's go to the daily. And then, no, we got it all. We have all the data. That's all the data, guys. There's nothing left there. This is looking beautiful for Google right now. I do suspect that we are going to come back up and hit that 887 at 144 there. So let's go look at some other stuff. Cleans. Oh, big time. I wanted to show you guys big time. Got to get off the daily though, because it's freaking brand new. Never ever buy and trade new tokens, guys. It's a good way to get wrecked, but you can see massive run up there since yesterday morning. Retesting right now on some support. So is there something that I can see here on the 1 hour? Let's look at the 30-minute and just see. Yeah, definitely a level of support right here. But it does not look like, well, we did get a test right there on the trend. Just so you guys know, lower time frames, chart prime works great too, not just on high ones. So you can see there, we are getting rejected below the dynamic reactor and almost retested it perfectly there. But right now we're still on a green trend assist despite having a red sell. So this could be coming back down to that 21.3. I might look at getting into a long there if I was going to trade this. But, if not, be looking for rejection on that dynamic reactor because this token, all the hopium of the new buyers and then rug pulls. That's what happens. So finding support right there on that line at about 18.8 cents. Do I think AMD could catch up to Nvidia? I think if AMD gets more development in their AI chip, absolutely, in the AI chip market. But right now, Nvidia stands alone. It really does. Um, let's go and check out Clean Spark and see how it's looking here. I want to get this on the daily. No, actually, let's look at the 4 hour on this and let's see how we're looking here. We've got breaker blocks. We've got exponential moving averages here, and they're not going to give us much because they're weeklies. But right now, we did get a rejection perfectly here off of a prime range. We are below the delta. If this comes back down lower, I would be looking at $3.30 here. We did get a clean break off of that breaker block and a rejection down. It is very likely, brother, that this could be heading down to 352 for the first level and 330 for the second level if the Bitcoin hash rate slows down. Because you got to remember they had a really big hash rate pump that they did. T-shirt and when's the earnings? Listen to the call, bud. Nice. What else do we want to go look at here real fast? We did Dixie. We did all that. Let me know in the chat if you guys want something that you want me to take a look at real fast, and I will do it. Let's go ahead and check out the futures right now. Futures up today on US 30. That's going to be the Dow Jones. Looking at the S&P mini, it's looking like upside today, up 0.3%. The NASDAQ, though, tech sector getting hurt a little bit today, but holding that 50% line. If it can hold that there, I do suspect that it could get up to the golden pocket, but I'm actually looking for a little bit of pullback today on all of the markets because people want to protect the money for the weekend. Oh, in phase, that's what it was. I got you, man. Solar panels. Enphase, by the way, is who has my solar panels on my home. So, 21 of them. They're awesome. Love my panels. Enphase rejected right there off of the 300-week moving average. That's what that red line is. It's 200 is all the way up here. So, wow, man, they are way down. Getting rejected off that dynamic reactor here on the 4 hour. It did get a bounce on that prime range there, but I do think that we're going to probably come down to at least the 120 here. I'd be looking for puts on this, dude. Anytime that, especially here at the 300, when it pumped up to there and rejected off of that, that is super bearish. You can see it did it back here also. Did it all this time here. It was support. I would have been watching that for a rejection, and that's what I would have went into with a put. So for sure, just want to find the underbought names. Yep, for sure. That's why you're buying it because it's low. Yeah, I think you're going to get a little bit better buy prices down here at 114. Not financial advice. What 114.50? I'd be looking down there more. I think you got plenty of time to collect that bag up there. So, um, these were made in Germany, so they're one of the highest rated panels on the market that Enphase uses here. Well, Enphase. So it was partnership with Enphase and Vivint alarm systems. They came out and they tied it into the network so I get the app and all that stuff. But I want to say that it was like double of the next competitor in line for the panels. So, um, but I'm not sure the exact stats on that, Rick. All right. I think that's about it on TA. unless you guys have something that you absolutely want me to take a look at. But I like to keep these shows short because we do we are going to be going on Hit Network with the show here soon. I'm not sure, it might even be on there right now. But Hit Network 24/7. It's going to be putting me on, and I would like to be off before they start their show. That way, there's no issue. But yeah, I appreciate you guys being here. Be careful today. Markets have a lot of volatility in them. I do suspect that we're going to see some pullback on everything. We do have resistance hitting hard right now on a lot of the crypto assets and a lot of stocks pulling. Of course, there's always places to make money, and all you got to do is keep your finger on the pulse, have the knowledge, because knowledge is profits. Thank you guys for joining me here. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Friday, and don't forget, no investing bros today. So they won't be on today. They won't be on tomorrow because T-Shrew and Tim are out doing their thing. But if I see anything, I know Tim said he would shoot a video out on the phone. If I see anything, I'll push it out over Twitter at the very least, or X as they call it now. But I'm going to go hang out with the family and try to get some stuff done for my personal life. And I will catch you guys Monday morning at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't forget, share this video, show a friend, help them get knowledge, because knowledge is profit. And we'll catch you guys tomorrow. Oh, no, Monday. Catch you Monday. Later, guys. Have a good one.
That was awesome, dude!